Alright, my name's Data, and we'll go to the third round of the Season 1 Data's Draft League. We'll go to the draft. Um, if you are new to this channel, we are creating the first ever MB Regulation Draft League in Pokemon Champion, and this is the third round of the draft. If you're interested in Draft League, we are preparing for a season 2. Sometimes this fall when the next regulation hits. I'll leave a link to the Draft League Discord group down below in the description, and join that if you're interested. The third round started with Team Cat 1, where they drafted a typical rain team featuring Swampert and Pelipper, and the third choice is Sableye. Sableye was a staple of the rain team starting from Regulation A, followed by a team created by the legend in the game, Aaron Cybertron Zen. Also, big shout out to him by creating the rain team. The reason Sableye is so good in the team is because Sableye has Prankster, and it could set up the rain, it could manually set up the rain, basically. This is important because the existence of Charizard. Charizard Y could Mega Evolve and set up the Sun, which would override any rain setter, like Pelipper, Polito, whatever. Because switch in happens before Mega Evolution, like Mega Evolve. So if you have a rain setter against Charizard, you will never get the weather, because however you want to switch it in, however you train your Pokemon, you always switch in first, set up the rain, and then Charizard Mega Evolve, set up the Sun. And with Sableye, because you have Prankster, means you will move first. You move first. But the move you click into will resolve after Mega Evolution, after a Charizard Mega Evolve. So what happens is Charizard will Mega Evolve, set up the Sun, then Sableye Prankster set up the rain, which makes you win the Weather War against Charizard, and that's why Sableye is so important. Also, Sableye learns Thunder Wave, Will-O-Wisp, Light Screen, Reflect, Disable, Encore, Fake Out, all those kind of annoying and useful support moves. So it's a very good supportive Pokemon with Prankster. Prankster basically gives +1 priority for all those moves, and it's very important when you match up against Charizard teams, which we have a Charizard team, coached by me. So this is an important piece in this team, basically. And also on the basis there are two rain teams, the other one featuring Archaludon, so it is very important for Team Cat 1 to lock it in before anyone else could take it. I would say very smart choice. It kind of pieced together all the rain pieces. He probably need one or two other attackers, and the team will shape up. Yeah. And the second pick of the third round goes to Team Taro PPY from Mousehold. Up until this moment, Mousehold was probably the best supported Pokemon remaining, because both Whimsicott, Sinistra, and even we just see Sableye and also Grimmsnarl has all been taken. So the good supported Pokemon we're left with were just Mousehold and probably Clefable. And both of them get access to Follow Me, which is very important in Draft League and in any team building. Redirection is very important. It could help your sweepers to deal damage, or even help your Pokemon to set up. Also, it gets access to Population Bomb, which is another very important shenanigans for very important tag in Mousehold, because Population Bomb was a 20 base damage attack that could hit up to 10 times, and for every time it hits, it will just add up, and it breaks Focus Slash, And if you hit it all, if you hit all 10 times with your ability technician, you're basically doing a 300 base attack, um, 300 base damage, attack, which is very scary and could one shot a lot of Pokemon. And also, like we just mentioned, if wins you Focus Ash. And with White Lens, you have a very high possibility to hit for like all 10 times. Even though like Mousehole's attack was really mid, like the base stats on the attack is really mid, but whatever, who cares? It's a 300 base damage attack, and if you catch people off guard, you can one shot their big ace Pokemon, like even their Mega Pokemon. I'm pretty sure like Population Bomb, if it hits for 10 times, um it will one shot Charizard and maybe also Floret because those are not those two Pokemon are not physically bulky. Yeah. After all, like very good choices as a supportive Pokemon. Even though we don't really have idea how this team is shaping up because it's featuring like Metagross. I don't know. We still don't know how Team Terrell PBY is trying to build around his Metagross. But we see some speed control. We see a lot of supportive moves being available to this team. He could go either way. Like he could build all kinds of like Metagross teams possible. Third pick of the third round, Toronto Star Raptors use 13 points to choose Basket Legion female. Very smart choice, I would say. Like it's very budget efficient. Um, we did separate Basket Legion male and female, and the Basket Legion male would cost, if I'm not wrong, like 19 points, something like that. But Basket Legion female only costs you 13 points. Even though on ladder, like Basket Legion female is mainly known as special attacker, but specifically in Draft League, you could play Basket Legion female as a Basket Legion male with only 20 less base attack. Because like the Basket Legion male would have like 112 attack, 80 special attack, and Basket Legion female have like 92 attack, 100 special attack. Everything else is the same. Ability is the same. Moveset, I don't think there's a difference. I didn't recall a significant difference. So in theory, what you could do is just play it as Basket Legion male, and we all know how dangerous it is. It was like the most used Pokemon on ladder, I think, in one of the season. I forgot to season 1 or season 2 of MA. It kind of tells us something, right? It kind of basically tells us how strong it is. And you save in draft league because every point matters. So basically, Toronto Star Raptors saved 6 points just by choosing Basket Legion female. And yeah, the moveset is exactly the same. And the strongest move that Basket Legion learns is this Lost Respect, which could do 50 to 200 base damage depending on how many Pokemon you lost previously. So it is very budget to choose Basket Legion female. You're just trading 6 point with 20 base attack. I would say it's very smart choice. And 6 point could means a lot. Like 6 point is the difference between Charizard and say Hisuian Arcanine. Or like what are others 15 points Mega Pokemon? Lucario I think is 15. I think Lucario is 15. Yeah, I think Lucario is 15. So it's difference between like Lucario and Charizard, or like Venusaur and Floret. That's how big a difference 6 point can do. Yeah. With the fourth pick, Team 17 went for Dido for 4 points. Actually, like I thought he was joking when he actually says I'm gonna go for Dido. So I went for like triple or even quadruple like confirmation before I logged it in for him. Like if anyone like was in the draft, like it was like he says, I'm going for Ditto. I was like, you sure it's Ditto? And because we are like, I made English, so I also confirmed the Chinese name, and I was like, are you sure it's this Pokemon? 4 points. The ones that can transform into whatever it's face up against. He was like, yes, 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 I want Ditto. I was so shocked because like everyone else in this draft league was still like hunting for like 2-digit Pokemon. And one of a sudden, like Team 17 just went for Ditto, which is like a 4-point Pokemon no one has ever like thought about. I don't think this was on anyone's radar by the moment before he logged in. Um I'll be honest, I'm not even sure how this Pokemon will help this team or like how to build around Ditto. I have no idea, completely no idea. Um like I know it's usable, like especially in a restricted format. Like Ditto would typically be there to copy the opponent's restricted Pokemon. So like I would say it could probably do something when you copy the Mega Evolved Pokemon, say Charizard or say like Bloat, Gengar, whatever. You can do that, but I really don't know how good it is. That's why it is so low on points. Like it is not that viable in Regulation MA, and I don't think it is that viable in Regulation MB. But it is picked. It's drafted. 4 points is not a lot. 4 points is pretty cheap. Like you don't get much value out of like 4 points. Like I think you get something like Luxray, something like that at 4 points. Yeah. Um, so later I asked him, I was like, why do you want to pick Ditto this early? He says like he strategically want to hold on to his Mega choice. He don't want to review his Mega Pokemon that early. He want to hold it until everyone lock in with the Mega, and then he can do counter pick. And he thinks he's gonna choose Ditto anyway. He wants it no matter what. He just thinks it is a very good Pokemon with very fair price, like very cheap price basically. He thinks Ditto will worth more than 4 points. He thinks it's a very value pick. He he says no matter what I choose later in the draft, Ditto is always gonna be on my roster, on my radar. So I don't really want to lock into any expensive stuff. So I'll just lock in Ditto because yeah, I'll have it anyway. I mean, fine. That's his choice. I'm very excited. I'm very looking forward to how he utilized Ditto, how how he could possibly make it work, because this is like basically my first time seeing Ditto in double combats, like in doubles in Pokemon Champion. I've seen some Ditto play in singles, but like double battle is the first time I see Ditto. I'm very excited to see how Ditto will be used in this draft league. Also, like I think it's reasonable because like both his Incineroar and Rotom Wash has some way to switch itself out. So like he can probably control where Ditto comes in and what to copy. Maybe you can do something with Ditto, I don't know. And with the fifth pick of the third round, um, Team Chocobon selected Polito. This is kind of like a forced choice because they are typically just three big range setters. Like there are like in regulation MA and MB, there was three range setters in the format. Um, Pelipper, Politoed both have the ability Drizzle to set up the rain when it comes in. And we have the manually set up rain guy Sableye. I think those are the three main rain setters people use in this regulation. Of course, I think there are other Pokemon maybe have Prankster and Set of the Rain, but like they don't typically see use. Um, but Politoed was the only one left because Team Cat has taken both Pelipper and Sableye, and Chocobon was forced to choose this because there's another Blastoise teams in the ace pick. So if he don't take Politoed, there is a chance the Blastoise team will lock in for Politoed, and then like Chocobon will be cooked. Team Chocobon will be cooked. Because like a Caledon would be way weaker without the rain, so he's forced to choose it. He cannot risk like this one being sabotaged. He can risk anything else being sabotaged, but not a rain setter. So he's kind of forced to pick a Polito. There's not much to talk about it. Um, Typically, people would say Polito is the worst version of Pelipper, because it don't learn Tailwind, it don't learn Wild Guard, also it don't have the Flying type, which Flying type could help it deal with Grass types, which is a threat to the typical Rain team, but I'm not so sure how good a Grass type attacker would be into like a Caladon. I'll say probably not that much, but that's typically the advantage of Pelipper, and that's why Pelipper is like 16 and Politoed is just 13. Like the advantage of Politoed is probably it's more bulky and it could learn Perish Song. So like sometimes you have a Perish Trap Rain team, Politoed would be the choice rather than Pelipper. But I don't think with our Caladon and Sinistra, um, Team Chocobon could still build a Perish Trap team. Maybe if he invests another 20 points into Gengar, he could possibly build another Perish Trap team, but that will make his budget really low because like he spent almost like more. I'm pretty sure he spent more than 70 points if he went for Gengar. I haven't really do the math. Yeah, he spent exactly 70 points. 70 points if he go for Gengar, and he's only get 4 Pokemon means he's gonna choose 6 Pokemon with 30 points budget, which is super tight. So we'll see if he really want to build a Pouch Trap team, but yeah, Polito, fourth choice, he has to do it. Oh. After the Polito choice, the sixth pick of the third round goes for Team Ning for King Gambit. King Gambit was a staple in a lot of high-ranking teams and like top teams in those big tournaments, simply because King Gambit has Defiance, which was the anti-intimidate player of the team. Also like in draft league, it's like Supreme Overload could also came in play sometimes if your opponent does not have an intimidate user. Um, Also, like it's very bulky, 100 HP, 120 physical defense, 85 special defense makes it super hard to remove from the field. It learns Sucker Punch, which makes it strong in one-on-one, and it can learn also like Cold Toe Cleave, Iron Head, and Low Kick. I think it learns Low Kick. It can learn a bunch of like useful moves, special or like mostly physical move. Like you won't use special moves, but like I don't know a special move pool, but like its physical move pool is pretty good. The biggest thing is like it is 4 times weak to fighting, which is the reason why a lot of players would give it the fighting resistance. I'll say that the that's why some of the times we'll see his holding item would be like how to say it like I'm trying to find out the berry, yeah, the berry that resists fighting, so that it could leave I would say it probably leaves a close combat if you give the berry of and those like fighting resistance berry, maybe it will leave a close combat. Also, like, because his team was featuring like Garchomp, which is another physical attacker, it is very important to get the anti-intimidate on the board so that at least you could just deter the opponent's intimidate user, maybe, so that they cannot just lead things like Incineroar or Arcanine like as a no-brainer against your Garchomp. So it's pretty strong Pokemon. We see it played in a lot of like high-ranking teams. It's a staple in the Big Six. So basically, Team Ning has gets all these staples of the Big Six teams other than the 2 Mega. He's getting everything like Garchomp, King Gambit, Whimsicott, which is a member of the new Big Six, but he's not getting the Mega, so he needs to find a new Mega to replace the Mega of Big Six. Yes. And with the 7th pick, my team, I choose Aegislash. So at this moment, I basically have two choices. I can either go for Basque Legion Male, or I could go for Aegislash. I made a draft plan for both of them, but I decided to go for Aegislash, um, simply because I would say like both Charizard and Floette are very offensive Pokemon. Like they are not bulky. They cannot tank a lot of hits. And Basque Legion Male to me is approximately the same. It's also like not very bulky. Like it could take a few hits, but we'll see like how bulky it is. You see like 120 HP, like uh yeah, like 65, 75 defense is okay bulky. Like it's not that it's not that offensive, but like you typically don't add a lot of bulk to your Basque Legion. You use it more of like an end game sweeper to close the game out with lost respect. And also like I've already spent 41 points on my Mega Pokemon, and they cannot go into the same battle. If I choose Basque Legion for 19, because I want to choose the Basque Legion female, I'll be honest. If Basque Legion female was undrafted, I will for sure take it because I need to save points. But Basque Legion male, I have to spend another 19, which means like I've spent 60 points. 60 points on only 3 Pokemon. And I have 7 other Pokemon to go to with only 40. And I need a lot of stuff other than just Basque Legion. I need speed control. I need um, some other supportive. I need something that can hopefully like I need the intimidate user. I need someone who can use fake out. I maybe need something to anti-trigger. I need a lot of stuff. It's not just Basque Legion. So I would say like I'll be so low on points if I go for Basque Legion. Also, like I think I need something that is more defensive that could help me take the hit in case I need to switch out. So for example, like if my lead is terrible, like my leading position was bad, I need to reposition myself. I want to have something that I could switch out, and the Pokemon switching could be like a bulky Pokemon that help me tank the hit, and hopefully live a hit or two, and let me just set up maybe set up my speed control, or like maybe set up something, or like even just to reposition. Also I need a lot of type. Like in traffic, the balance of different type is very important. And both ghost and steel type are very valuable types. Not only because they are both immune to some typing, like ghost is immune to like normal and fighting, and steel is immune to poison. But also like steel type is very very valuable defensively. It has a lot of resistance. So like Ghost and Steel are generally speaking a very good type defensively. Just see how good Goldingo is in Scarlet Violet. And also Aegislash is very bulky. It has 140 for both defense. Even though 60 HP wasn't that good, but like 140 defense is not too shabby. Like you could take a lot of hits, even like super effective. You could take some super effective hits with the 140 defense. Also, like its stance change makes that Aegis when Aegislash is defending, it has like 140 defense, 140 special defense. But when it's attacking, it could have 140 attack and 140 special attack. Means that I could go for both physical or special attack with Aegislash. Which is important because both of my Mega Pokemon are very, very special, so I need something that could do physical attack. Also, it's slow on speed, which means it is also like by answer to some of the Trick Room teams. I'm pretty satisfied with this one. I like it a lot. I think Aegislash is gonna do a lot of work. It's gonna do a lot of work. Yeah, and does move pool like not something too crazy about the move pool. I would say the only one that was like really draws my attention is that it learns Wild Guard, which is important for Charizard because a lot of people will try to click Rock Slide into Charizard. If you have Aegis Slash and Charizard Y, you can Wild Guard protect your Charizard and then go for like Wave or like Reservoir, whatever. You just deal the damage. So that's another thing I want to say about Aegis Slash. Other than that, it's just like, yeah, his signature move King Shield will switch it back to its defensive mode. Um, yeah, I would say it's pretty strong enough for Pokemon, especially when in late games when it's like 1-on-1, Aegis Slash is a beast 1-on-1. Like it's really hard for anyone to take out Aegis Slash if you go against the 1-on-1. Yeah. And with the last pick of the third draft, PP Maxer selected Torkoal for 15 points. Very, very calmly seen Trick Room attacker. Because like he already has the best Trick Room setter, Freegraph. And Blastoise could also go into Trick Room. So when he locked into Torkoal, it basically kind of tells us he wanna build a Trick Room team. Because Torkoal can work maybe only in Trick Room. It's very hard for you to build a Torkoal team outside of Trick Room. It's very slow. It's probably the slowest Pokemon in the entire meta. I haven't really checked. But it hits really hard. 85 base special attack, not too good, not too strong, but it learns the move Eruption. So Eruption has like 150 base damage if you're full health, and with the help of Freegraph blocking all the priority moves and with Helping Hand, you can easily board wipe your entire your opponent's entire board by like water spout, war like eruption. So it is very scary sweepers, both Blastoise and Torkoal. Because Water Spout is also like 150 base damage, Eruption is also 150 damage. So it means like they could have a 150 base damage spread attack no matter what. Like, if fire type is better into your team, they can just lead with Torkoal and Freegraph and just protect on Torkoal and set up Trick Room. And if water is better into a team, they could just lead with Blastoise, set up Trick Room, and start from there. So this one kind of forces everyone to have a Trick Room answer. If you cannot stop the Trick Room, if you don't have a way to deal with this team, you will have a hard time. You will have a hard time because not many Pokemon can live both Water Spout and Eruption. Yes. And that is the end of round 3. And starting with round 4, it will be PP Maxon again. What I would say about the round 3 is, of course, like teams are shaping up, but we do see a lot of budget choices. Basilisk female, Dido, things like that are considered more budget-wise, rather than the best Pokemon in the meta. So like people are aware that everyone was spending a lot of their points in the first 2 rounds trying to hunt for the expensive and powerful Pokemon, and now people need to go to some budget choices. Yeah, we'll just go into the 4th round. With the first pick of the fourth round, PP Maxa selected Vivillon, the butterfly Vivillon, for 10 points. It is a staple in a lot of Blastoise teams. Like in the late regulation MA, people kind of figure out the Blastoise teams was Vivillon. The reason for that is with its compound ice, its sleep powder would have more than 90% accuracy if I'm not wrong. And when you pair it up with Blastoise, what can be done is Blastoise just fake out something and Vivillon sleep powder into something else, and next turn Vivillon sleep powder into the other Pokemon, and Blastoise just go water spout. Very powerful duel. It has some result in different Pokemon tournaments in regulation MA. I think it's like a very commonly seen partner for Blastoise. Also, like his Vanguard. Vanguard is the same ability as Mousehold, which is another reason why Mousehold is such a good supportive Pokemon. It can reduce the damage for your partner, and also, it can set up Tailwind, and it has Rage Power, which are two very important moves to have on the team. So with only 10 points, I would say PP Maxer do get a lot of value out of this Pokemon. Um, it might not seem to be the strongest one, but I would say it's very powerful on this team, especially when you pair it up with Blastoise. Also, like with the ability to set up Tailwind for Vivillon, PP Maxer basically have what we call like a two-sided speed control, which means you can set up Tailwind and Trick Room, as both Trick Room and Tailwind on the same team, which is very important for Pokemon like Blastoise, because Blastoise 78 base speed was like mid tier, like it's a mid speed Pokemon. So sometimes Tailwind will work better than Trick Room. Sometimes it's the other way around. So you need to see what your opponent is and what their team are, and decide which type of speed control you want to go for. So have those kind of flexibility is very important on this team. I would imagine like if he has his Tailwind mode, we will probably not see like Pokemon like Torkoal. He'll probably choose another few Pokemon that will work in Tailwind so that he can have like both type of speed control uh, functioning on the same roster, right? And after Vivillon, the second pick of my team, I go for Ariados. I'll be honest, like I did calculation on my draft plan. I figured out like if for me to have my draft plan work after I pick AJ Slash. So as I told you, I have like two plans. Like plan A is AJ Slash, plan B is like basically Jamel by the time. After I do the math, I figure out for my team to work, for me to have enough points, I need to have Ariados on the team. It's the backbone for this team because this is the simple, cheapest Rage Powder user in the entire format. And I need Rage Powder. Because Rage Powder could protect my Charizard and also protect my Floette for them to do massive damage. Or even for Floette, I could Rage Powder and Calm Mind and, start sweeping next turn. So it is very important for me to have some sort of redirection. And with Vivillon being taken, the next cheapest redirection will probably be Scovillians for 14 points, Clefable for 15, which is something I cannot afford with my team. I spent so many points on my Mega Pokemon, I don't have that much of a point for a redirection user. So I need Ariados. I need it to be on my team. Otherwise, my team will not have redirector. And I don't like it. I think redirection is important in draft league. It kind of adds on to a lot of flexibility of my team, because I think it is the reason that I could possibly run a setup mode Floette. I think without Ariados, it's super hard for me to set up the Floette. Because like how would I do that? I don't know. Like maybe just redirection and Floette Calm Mind. I think that's the combo in my mind, and I need it. Also, like for some teams that does not have a lot of spread attack, I could also just lead my Mega with Ariados and then click like Rage Powder and have my Mega Pokemon just swipe the board because both my Mega hits really hard with spread attack. So that's another way to use it. But no matter what, I think this is a Pokemon I must choose, and I cannot take the risk of it being taken by other people, so I just lock into it on my fourth round. Because other Pokemon on my draft plan, I mean, they are powerful, but I can find some kind of substitution for them. So I'm not that hurried into drafting them, but Ariados is something I must have it. I have to draft it before someone else take it. And the third pick of the fourth round, Team Ning selected Melodic. This is an interesting choice because Melodic is really good. Melodic has competitive, which is another way to anti-intimidate. But I mean, like, was King Gambit already on the team? Melodic and King Gambit seems to be a similar role on the team, even though they do slightly different stuff. Like King Gambit is more of like an attacker, but like Melodic could run some supportive move. It can also be a set of Pokemon. We have the we used to see Milotic in some early tournament. Like try to run the Quail and try to run the Quail version of Milotic, which is uses bulk to take the hits and then try to because Quail increase your accuracy, so like then you could use some like inaccurate moves to kind of you know um to kind of what's the other move they use with Quail? Is it the Hypothesis? I think that's the name of the move. It's just like 50% accuracy and 60% accuracy and make opponent fast asleep, right? Just sleep opponent, which is okay. And I don't know if my logic will learn Calm Mind, maybe not. But like I mean, there are some setup build for my logic, and I mean also it learns some uh, ice beam, which is like move that could cover some of the attacking types, and they could learn haste that deals with other setup teams. What else? Icy Wings for some speed control. Uh, Life Duel for some healing. So like, my logic is more of a supportive version of King Gambit. So like, they would do something different, but their main role on the team was anti-intimidate. So I would say like Team Ning was really focuses on anti-intimidate, so that no one is there to intimidate his Garchomp. Because like if you see King Gambit, you can possibly gamble saying that he won't leave with King Gambit. But if you see both Milotic and King Gambit, good luck in bring in your intimidate user. Good luck with that. So it's another anti-intimidate user. So like this team right now, I think it's really focusing on protect the Garchomp, make Garchomp do all the work and damage. And with the fourth pick of the fourth round, Chocobon selected Talonflame for 15 points. Talonflame is the second best Tailwind user in the entire map because it has the ability Gale Wings, which means when you're full health, your flying type move gets +1 priority, which Tailwind is a flying type move. This is slightly worse than a Prankster or like Whimsicott. It's because you have to be a full health. If your opponent has a priority move to reduce some of your health to do some damage, Gale Wing won't apply. Gale Wing won't be in effect. So like you will lose a +1 priority. So like, in theory, your opponent could lead with like 2 super fast Pokemon and run like 1 priority moves onto a Talonflame, and then use another Pokemon that's quicker than Talonflame to kill it, so that you don't get Tailwind up. But I mean like Talonflame is very fast. 126 speed is very fast. In this meta. It's not very bulky, like 78 HP, 71, 69 defense. It's not that good in terms of bulk, so it won't take a lot of hits. But I mean, it is very fast and good at setting up Tailwind. Also, like it's more offensive than the Whimsicott because they could learn like Fire Blades, Brave Birds. It could learn a lot of like attacking moves. for Talonflame. I would say like maybe this Pokemon's drafted by Chocoball in replace of the Pelipper. So like because like Pelipper does two things for the rain team. First is to set up Tailwind. Second is to set up the rain. So like Chocoball is trying to pair like Talonflame and Politoed to function the same way as a Pelipper. And I think Talonflame, if I'm not wrong, learns Wild Guard. I have to double check. But if it does, then these two like paired up together will become his will basically become his Pelipper. And that's why Pelipper is so good on rain, right? You get like 2-in-1. Even though like it's not as good as Talonflame in setting up, you know, like Tailwind, but they can do it, right? And the answer is no. Talonflame does not learn Wild Guard, unfortunately. So it does not learn Wild Guard. So yeah, it is what it is, right? But it's really good. Tailwind setter. I could see it do a lot of stuff for this team, to be honest. Moving on, this fifth pick, Team 17 selected Hippowdon with 5 points. Like he's still like sniping all the budget Pokemon. Like Hippowdon was the cheapest weather setter in the entire draft board. Like I think things like the next cheapest would be maybe Ninetale for like 9 points, I would say, if I'm not wrong. So like Hippowdon was like the simple, like cheapest weather setter. Like for sure there's a lot of weather teams. There were like 2 rain teams, 1 sun teams, and there's a Torkoal team that could possibly set up the sun. So it's important you get something to anti the weather, and Hippowdon seems like a choice. Also like he told me like long before, like when we first published the draft board, he was like, I am gonna choose Hippowdon sometimes in the draft. And again, this is something that if you don't want to review Mega Pokemon and you want Hippowdon anyway, it's time to choose it. And but I think by right now he spent the least point among all people. Like he has a lot of points. Yeah, those like his third and fourth round pick cost him like 9 points in total, which is like ridiculous. Like everyone was like spending like more than 10 points a round, and he was like spending 9 points for 2 rounds. So he'll have a lot of budget to choose his Mega Pokemon later on. And with the sixth pick of the fourth round, Toronto Star Raptors choose Hisuian Typhlosion for 8 points. Very budget choice, very good value out of the points. Hisuian Typhlosion, first of all, it has the ability Frisk. Frisk is specifically valuable in Draft League because we are playing Draft League as a closed team sheet. So it is important to get as much information as possible. So Frisk will give you additional information on your opponent's holding item so that you could decide your moves or like plan your strategy based off the actual information you get. Also, like when you learn the holding item in game 2 and game 3, you have an idea of what to face up against. You have an idea of like what they're holding. So like more information always means more advantage in close team sheet. Also, like Hisuian Typhlosion is known as a Choice Scarf Eruption user because it's 95 base speed. If you give it a Choice Scarf, its speed tier is pretty fast. I didn't really do the math, but pretty sure like if you Choice Scarf it, it will outspeed most Pokemon without speed control. And as we went through in the Torkoal section, Eruption is a very, very powerful move. Also, like Hisuian Typhlosion has a Ghost type, means it cannot be fake out. Also, like I think it also learns Shadow Ball, so which is another like Ghost type moves. And also like it adds another type. It kind of added to the team's like type coverage because like basically Staraptor would cover fighting and flying type offensively. Fast Legion would be ghost and water, and now we have a fire type as its attacking type. So it is important in draft league to have more than to have as many offensive type as possible, so that you have good type, or like you have Pokemon to choose against any opponents. For example, like if he has a team that is very grass, he could just choose Hisuian type Lotion. If you have something that's like very fire, he could choose Basculin, right? So like he's like, of course, like Staraptor will probably be played every single game, but the second, like the backup attacker could differentiate depending on what opponent is facing up. So very good value out of the points. Like he didn't spend much, but he gets a very good attacker for his team, basically. Seventh pick of the fourth round of the draft league. Team Taro PPY went for Annihilate for 18 points. Annihilate did see a nerf in Pokemon Champion. Um, it loses his like uh final gambit, and also like rage rage fist will reset when you switch it out, which makes Annihilate a lot weaker compared to Scarlet Violet. But it is still like a very powerful Pokemon that could run um a lot of sets. You could give it Scarf and go fast, or you could just run the bulk of setup mode. Also, like one thing to say about Annihilate is that there was a set that do beat up Rage Fist, which is a typical like very signature combo for Annihilate in Scarlet Violet, and uh basically Mousehold could be the beat up user. So like what happens is Mousehold beat up Annihilate, and then Annihilate would run the Rage Fist was very high damage. I think it's plus 50 for each uh for each times of attack it taken. So in theory there should be like a 250 base damage um, ghost type um, attack coming into turn one. Very hard to stop. I'll say very hard to stop. Um, Let me see. Yes, it gets it's base damage plus 50 for every hit you've taken. So bulk for beat up would deal 4 times damage, which means like it's now 250. And also like Annihilate and Mousehold is a very commonly seen duo in Scarlet Violet. They are very good partner with each other. Mousehold could follow me and let Annihilate bulk up to set up, or it could just do the beat up Rage Fist combo, which are both very scary and powerful. Mm, I would say like maybe how this team work would be like leading with Mousehold and Annihilate and do as much damage as possible, and then finish the game with Metagross, which is one way to deal with it. Well, another way is to like lead with like Aerodactyl and Metagross. Try to kill as many of your opponent's Pokemon with Metagross as possible, and later on finish the game with beat up Annihilate. But all in all, like Annihilate and Mousehold, very good partner with each other, very good synergy on the team. Um, and I mean, like because Metagross does not take up a lot of resources, you don't have to build a specific team around Metagross. So that's why this team could have other, partners on the team. So like a lot of other teams just build around their Mega Pokemon, or like their first pick. But because Metagross could work in any team, it could just came in as a sweeper or as a powerful attacker. So you could find other combos on the team and use your Metagross as your finisher or like as a lead, depending on how you want to use it. But all in all, like Annihilate, very strong Pokemon, especially in Draft League because it has a lot of ways to build around it, a lot of sets to use, very hard to predict. Paired up with Mousehold, just added more possibility for this team, and it is a very difficult partner for anyone to try to break through. Yes. And with the last pick of the fourth round, Team Cat 1 go for Bass Legion now. Basically right now he's finished up his Rain Core. He's getting every single Pokemon he needs on the Rain team except for a Caladon. Bass Legion was scary Pokemon as a late game sweeper, because no matter you use Swift Swim with it, or like you just adaptability and give it choice scarf, once your other Pokemon die, say your Swampert, your Pelipper die, and that's when you come in, clicking Last Respect, it will do like a lot of damage with adaptability. I would say like if two of your opponent die, you get like 150 base attack, versus like 112 attack stats. It would do massive damage. It could one shot a lot of stuff. Like it for sure one shots like things like Charizard, Floette. I think it also one shots Garchomp. Um, yeah, if you train it correctly. So it is very powerful late game attacker. Also, it's not that it is also like very good in terms of bulk. Even though it's not the bulk like the most bulky Pokemon in the world, it has 120 base health. Which means if you do want to train it in a bulky way, it could also be bulky. But I mean, most of people would train it in a way that makes it do more damage than making it very bulky. But for sure you can do it if you want to. Also like Ghost type resist fighting, which is another good thing for this Pokemon. There's a specific reason why this is like the most played Pokemon in one of the seasons of Regulation MA, right? And it's not cheap, 19 points. It's a lot of budget. But I would say even though it could go into every single team, it's a part of the Big Six. It's a part of a lot of teams, but it has its best synergy with the rain. Because you could run both Swift Swim and adaptability at your own will. With other teams, you basically just run adaptability. So, very scary team. It has all the Rain Core. Be really hard for anyone to counter the Rain team, especially when there's Sableye there. So it makes it even harder for anyone to remove the weather. And once you tried everything you can to remove the weather, here comes Basque Legion. So very scary team. I think this team, like Team Cat 1 by right now, probably have one of the best teams already. Yes. So that is the end of round 4 of the draft. A lot of teams has got all of their cores, especially Team Cat 1, and people start to sniping the budget choices. We see a lot of like 1-digit Pokemon being chosen. So people start to realize they need to manage their budget. We're almost halfway through the draft, so we'll see what's gonna happen in the next one. So I'll see you in the next video. Thank you for watching, and please leave a like and subscribe down below. And if you're interested again for the second season of the Data Draft League, join the Discord in the description down below. Thank you all. I'll see you in the next